Hey, yo, salute to the people. It's the social forecast. Today is Tuesday, October 29th, shortly after 1 a.m. Eastern Time. And I hope you all did something today to further your goals and to help you realize your dreams. All right, let's get into it. So I'm following this story out of Iowa where a family is now mourning the loss of a family member while at the same time planning for the addition of a family member. They were planning a gender reveal party where they had constructed themselves this device or this metal type stand where they were going to have gunpowder shoot the colored powder of what the gender of their baby was going to be out through the top of the stand to reveal to the people attending the party while they filmed it for social media to find out what the gender of the baby was. First and foremost, this is a tragic situation for this family. Obviously, they lost a family member, and I could imagine to the person who built this device, is obviously feeling probably very guilty, at this moment in light of what's happened. But I'll say that I've seen quite a few gender reveal parties online, and they're cute. I'm into the soft shit. When it comes to that types of stuff, I love children. And I remember I seen one gender reveal party online where they had like this blue powder, or I think it was blue or whatever for the baby was going to be. The powder shot up in the air and the woman was all jumping around and happy. And then as the camera panned over, the father had gotten down on his knee and pulled out a ring, and it was a proposal as well as a gender reveal party. And I thought that was super dope. It was mad cute. I'm kind of a hopeless romantic, so it is what it is. And I'm fully, in support of people who want to take what used to be very intimate, very personal experiences and details that was usually just for family and close friends, and you want to film it and put it online and make it this big thing. I mean, why not? You're happy, you're celebrating new life, you're celebrating whatever it is, go for it, put it online. But my thing is this, and essentially what this person created in trying to create this device to shoot this gender reveal powder, essentially they created a pipe bomb, because when they ignited this stand or this device, rather than shooting the powder out through the top of the stand, what it actually did was it exploded within the stand and sent essentially shrapnel flying, and the metal piece hit one of the women in the family, 56-year-old woman, Pamela, I forget her last name, in the head, and authorities say killed her instantly. And these metal pieces flew out with such high velocity that after this woman was struck in the head and killed instantly by this flying piece of shrapnel, essentially, it continued on another several hundred yards and landed in a nearby field. And as I was reading this story and the tragic nature of what happened, in the midst of people planning, for a joyous experience, which should be a joyous experience, like expecting a child, I started thinking, like, what happened to the days when, people wanted it to be a surprise to find out what the gender of their baby was going to be? You either found out, in the late progression of the pregnancy or on the day the baby was delivered. I mean, why can't that be the gender reveal party, where you just have those family and friends, and if you want to film it, go ahead and film it? But I mean, I feel like nowadays people want so much to create a perception and a life for people on social media, for people to be able to live vicariously and watch and witness, the best experiences in their life, but which is fine to an extent. But I feel like we spend so much time wanting to film our lives for social media, for people to share in, for people to experience with us, but not realizing that by putting so much focus and energy into the presentation, the filming, and the presenting that to the people that we, are friends with or connected to, extended family, coworkers, what have you, we don't realize that takes away from the actual experience of the moment itself, because you're not in the mode of experiencing it and accepting it in. you're in the mode of presenting and projecting that outward for people in the world to experience with you. And again, look, each to its own, that's fine. But now we have uh, a death in the family, a tragic situation where a woman is dead by simply attending. And it's not like this woman was right next to this stand. That's how dangerous this device was. This woman, according to the reports that I read, this woman was like 40 feet or 40 yards away from this stand. So that's how much power this thing blew with. So I don't know what this person was trying to do, how much gunpowder they used, what this stand was made of other than metal, but clearly, if you're going to try to create a contraption like that, you should be experienced in what you're doing. You should be some kind of an engineer or munitions expert or something, because when you go to the extent of wanting to have these public displays of things, you have to stop and realize the danger to the people around the situation, because this is not the first time a gender reveal party has gone wrong. There was a story a while back of a gender reveal party that ended in this huge fire. And I don't remember in the story if anyone was killed, but it was a huge fire. I was watching a video of it online, and it's just like this is the extent that people need to go. Have a gender reveal party. I mean, have a balloon, have a piñata of some kind. But I feel like people want to top the last one they saw, the last person that did this or that. I don't know if it's an attempt to go viral. I don't know, just creating a better experience. But we have to keep in mind, sometimes it's the simplest things in life, the simplest experiences, the most organic and natural occurrences that really create the most long-lasting memories. So now, while planning for a new baby, this family is also planning a funeral for this woman who, was killed instantly and never saw it coming, never had time to, I think those are the most tragic deaths in life. I know a lot of people say, if I go, I want it to be quick. I not know what's going on. I don't want to suffer. But to some extent, a person that goes through that is stripped of any chance. Like if someone's sick, if someone knows that they're about to go or they're old, you have a chance to reconcile your life. You have a chance to look back and reflect. You have a chance to speak to family, say goodbye, kind of see what you put out into the world and those last few people that come to see you on your deathbed, so to speak. And that's off on a whole nother tangent. I understand that. But, to everybody going forward who would seek to do these gender reveals, it's cool, it's cute, it's dope. It creates a lot of excitement. It gives people ideas. It attracts a lot of views, and I understand that. But keep it simple, keep it small. If something is outside of your realm of expertise, don't attempt it, or at the very least hire professionals who know what they're doing. I mean, there are plenty pyrotechnic type people out there whose job it is to do shows and do fireworks, and they know what they're doing when it comes to these things. When you just start jury rigging stuff and fabricating different devices and mechanisms to create sparks and fire and all this other shit with gunpowder, you're getting into a whole another realm of something that really requires experience and understanding of what it is you're dealing with. Because the wrong amount of gunpowder, the wrong amount of pressure, and it doesn't take much more than what is needed, you could really be creating a catastrophic situation like in this story. So rest in peace to this woman who lost her life just trying to find out at a party the gender of a new baby in the family. And for any other people who have been hurt or have caused injuries and or death to people that they invited to their gender reveal parties, it's not worth it. Celebrating new life is supposed to make us forget, even if just momentarily, even if just for a brief moment. Celebrating the arrival of new life, the expectation of new life, is supposed to make us briefly forget how short life is, how mortal we are. And when you start to mix those events, those those moments with more tragedy, more death, more pain, it just takes away from what it's supposed to be. Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe. I don't pretend to know everything. I just know what I know. It's the social forecast. See you on the next one. Peace and love.